Well, hello there, and welcome to Monday. Today is July 31, which means it's the end of the month, which also means this is the day where I look back and recap on how July went, measure and manage where my time went, where my money came from, where it went, what I want to focus on for this next month, and then start to plan for August. Also, small fact, 31 is one of my favorite numbers. Let's go get some coffee.
On my mat. No Dre, I'm feeling myself. Big baller holding the dubs, cause I'm not catching no L's. Bless up, be a blessing. You were front line to protect them. Big bullets in the backseat, but the right clean. But shots at the window, high shutter speed. Charge at 150, hyper my beam. No recharge, 5 times on your whole team. Got 3 more.
So I actually like the end of the month because it's a chance to reflect. It's a chance to look back, really see what worked. Man, it is humid and hot here today. It's monsoon season here in Arizona. If you've never looked up what a haboob is, check it out. It's humid and it storms about every 72 hours, but it's refreshing. It cools off for a bit, then it gets super humid, then it gets super hot, and right now we're in the super humid part. So I want to get inside, but let's chat more about what my end of the month routine is, because I think it'd help you out.
Click. With that high shutter speed, charge me up, yeah, charge me up. I'll shoot another hyper beam. I'll illuminate the shine that it radiate. I feel like the illest won't. Big beams lit like a stadium. Good.
All right, we have changes here in Regroup today. Tell me about these, Tom.
Well,
Fancy. So no more on the railway of their little bar.
Pop my sweaty ass collar on BT's up. Get hideous, this and we all link up. Big beams, big beams. See me maxed out. Penetration, watch my head circulator rotation.
All right, so there are 4 major ways I hold myself accountable through the day, week, and month. The first thing I need to preface as I start to say this is that this is a bit too much for most people. It's extremely meticulous, takes a lot of time, and can be borderline annoying. The first thing that I do is, 1, I track where every single moment of my day goes. You may have heard me talk about this before, and what that looks like is having a toggle timer going on at all times. So I started recording this 40 seconds ago and setting up. I know that, and I know the last task I was doing right before. So that's the first thing that I do. The second thing I do involves 4 different checklists. 1 I do at the start of the day, 1 I do at the end of my day, 1 I do every single week, the other I do monthly, and I have a yearly one too, but that one only fires off once a month. And there are a couple reasons that I do that. Reason number 1 is because I can be extremely lazy, and if I can see where my time is going and track it, then I can either feel guilty about it or feel really good, and I prefer to most of the time want to feel really good about it. It's an easy way to keep tabs on if you're spending time on the things that are important to you, or if you're not making progress in an area that you want to make progress on, it will become abundantly clear where you need to be allocating your time or where you need to stop spending your time. The main checklist for today is twofold. 1 is my start of day for today, but before that is my weekly checklist, which is how I'm keeping tabs on last week. There are a couple things you're gonna want in your checklist if you're wanting to do this for yourself or if you're wanting to experiment. The first question I ask myself in the Google form where my checklist is highlights and what worked. I wanna think about the good things. I wanna spend as much energy that I have, my bandwidth, on the good things that worked. But the next question I ask myself is, what were the opportunities? This is a chance to reflect on things that didn't go well yesterday, last week, last month, or even last year. Next thing I ask is what I'm thankful for, and then watch out for. What did I do yesterday that I need to stop? What happened last week that I need to keep top of mind? Those sort of things. And then I ask myself questions on the timers I have running. How much time did I spend last week in business, in self-development, with Video Fruit, with health, with my dog, with my family? Whatever the timers are, you need to figure out and sit down which one you're gonna categorize through. I've done mine and I report on those typically daily, weekly, monthly at some capacity, so I can go in and check on where all of the time is going. The next thing I ask myself, because I don't drive and I use Uber or ride sharing services, is how much did I spend in ride sharing, because I want to know. And the next thing I ask is, did I stay under budget for food, for drinks, for ride sharing, whatever I was spending money in, just so I have at least one item to go and check my budget, because if I don't, then I won't. The last thing that I recommend doing on your daily, weekly, and monthly list is giving yourself a grade on either a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 10. How did you do yesterday / last week? Now, if you looked at my daily checklist, I have my start of day checklist. I have a very important question, which is how much rest did you get? I know every single night, because I have a timer running, how much rest I got. I grade it on a 1 to 5, and then I ask myself about dreams. What this helps me do is remember more of them and get that muscle memory down. Why that's important? I don't quite know yet, but it's something I want to keep tabs on. So that is my weekly and my daily list, or my start of day. Let's now talk about the end of the day.
Sensei's been training since the 5th grade, hitting water surface, Kawabanga surf my wave. Within the past years I learned to accept people's ways, including flaws in their assets and all their shitty ways. Now if you see me automatic.
Before we cover the end of day list, I gotta head home and walk little me.
In my semi-cinematic, light it up one time.
All right, back from walking mink. The last important part of his weekly checklist is your end of day list. So you have your yearly, monthly, and weekly, a start of day, and then an end of day. And the whole point of this is to hold yourself accountable. And what you should, or what I think in my head is, if I were my employee, what sort of update would I want to hear at the end of the day? What would I want to know about? What's mission critical? Where was time spent? And so those are the things that you should have in your end of day if you're going to implement this in your life. Now, I've done this for about a good year now. I might have a week where I miss, or I might have 3 days in a row where I miss the end of day because I'm traveling or busy or whatever else. The important thing is to just have it in your calendar, get it done, and get back to it whenever you get away from it. And if you implement something like this, a system that you are able to be accountable to, or a system where you report to yourself, then I find, and I think you will find, that you will get more done and you'll be able to better track the results. So that's how you use checklists to get more out of your day and out of your month, year, week, etc. With that being said, I have a ton of work to do and I need to get back to that now. The plan tonight is to get over to yoga and to get better. Last time I only went once a week. That was the first time I've gone since I hurt my knee about 3 months ago. So if I go twice this week, then that will be counted as a huge win. So,
Sensei's been training since the 5th grade, hitting water surface, Kawabanga surf my wave. Within the past years I learned.
All right, lighting is probably terrible, but it is time for yoga. I've got about 10 minutes. Luckily, it is right around the corner. So I'm gonna go get my workout in, stretch my body out a little bit, and then carry on with my night, because I ain't done yet.
Now if you see me automatic, then my semi-cinematic, light it up one time, light it up. Now if you see me automatic, then my semi-cinematic, light it up one time, light it up for the one.